Taylor Cocke here for Yahoo Esports. I'm standing right next to Hermes, the head coach of Renegades. Hermes, how are you feeling today after that one?
Feeling pretty good.
You guys feeling a little bit more prepared for the relegation tournament or the promotion tournament, depending on which side you look at it here.
Yeah.
Are you guys feeling a little bit more prepared after that win?
I believe so, but going into the promotion tournament, we don't want to go in with the expectation that we'll win. We'll be playing as if we were the underdog. We want to go in with the mindset that we have to prove that we're better than the challenger teams in order to earn our spot in the LCS.
You guys did have a little bit of a struggle this season, especially with quite a few little roster changes here and there. How have you guys sort of managed to get over that hump, get past the difficulties of having to change your roster mid-season?
Well, the system we kind of had with the roster was missing a certain element, and then we were trying out people, and Seraph basically came along and kind of filled in that hole that we were missing the entire time. So with the addition of Seraph and Ninja as well, I think that both their synergy and also what Seraph provides to us as a team really basically fixed a majority of the problems that we had over the split. And then from there, it was very easy to help them achieve a higher, potential, achieve what they can do. Without Seraph, I'm not really sure how we do the split, honestly. But I think with more time, right, RF as a rookie will develop himself. But for now, we definitely needed someone with experience to add to our roster.
It seems to be the story of Renegades. There's a lot of players that are sort of perhaps not quite to the point where their potential can be fully realized. But you as a head coach, that it's become your job to get to them to that level. How do you personally, sort of take them under your wing and make sure that they're where they need to be in order to compete on the highest level?
Well, for certain players, right, they have particular strengths in their kit, whether it's their vocality, whether it's their mechanics, whether it's their leadership. And we kind of mix and match players to see what is the best combination of it all. So I think for my other players, they're still continuing to perfect their roles. RF was really vocal when he was on the team. He wanted to make the shots. He wanted to make a more proactive role on the team. Unfortunately, we just didn't have time to really incorporate him. But going into the next split, we'll definitely look to see if RF and both Flares see what kind of what have they picked up. Right, they've been very well. They used to Flares and RF now they're TDK. We still work really together, and we'll see how that goes on.
There seems to be a lot of talk floating around with teams sort of experimenting with substitutions. I mean, famously, SKT did it a lot last season. Is that something that you guys believe in as a philosophy, or is that something that are you guys really looking for that core 5 players that's going to be the permanent squad?
Well, for the spring split, we were looking for a core 5. Right? We kept experimenting throughout the season, trying to figure out who could be the one that just basically fits everyone else, makes up for each other's weaknesses, brings their own strengths to the table. And for us, we finally found it at the end of the split. Hopefully, we'll be able to mold them together and build them into something greater going to summer split. That's what we're really looking forward to.
So looking forward to the promotion tournament specifically, is this officially the core 5 that you're going to go with? This is going to be the roster going to that tournament?
Unfortunately, yeah, which is going to be interesting because we're hoping that we don't run into – we want to run into challenger teams. So it's largely Apex and TDK, right? That's statistically we'll consider them the weaker competition based on where they are, right? Apex doesn't have that LCS stage experience. TDK kind of does, right? They were in the split last year. So we want to be able to capitalize on that.
So those are the teams you're hoping to run into?
Right.
All right, man. Thank you so much for talking to us today. For Yahoo Esports, this is Taylor Cocke.